Hi ladies and gents, if you are looking for a tutorial about the perfect brow, stay tuned. Hi, okay guys, what we're going to start with for this tutorial, you're going to need an eyebrow pencil. I'm using Stud by MAC. I usually like to use Spiked, but it's gotten to its last leg, so I'm using Stud from MAC. You're going to need an eyeliner brush. I personally like to use the slanted eyeliner brush. You're going to need one of these little comb brushes. Most specifically, you're going to need the brush side. And last but not least, you're going to need a concealer. I use a shade that's maybe one shade lighter than my skin, but some people choose to use a shade that's 2 shades lighter. Some people use a shade that's lighter, and then on the top they use their actual foundation color. It's really up to you. And but I'm going to be using MAC's concealer. It's the Studio Finish concealer in NW45. So let's get started. So first I'm going to take my eyeliner pencil and I am going to pretty much trace underneath the shape of my brows that I currently have. But before you even trace, you're going to use this brush here and just kind of smooth out your brows. I like to brush mine upwards so that I can see the shape and make sure that I'm stroking the pencil in the same direction of my brows. And also it helps me to see if I need to trim any long hair. So I'm actually going to brush that down. So that's your first step, brush your brows. Now you're going to take your eyeliner pencil and you're going to trace the bottom portion of your brow. My strokes are very, very light. I don't want it to look like I've drawn them on. I try to sketch over it, basically. But now that that bottom's done, I'm going to shade in from the bottom up. Basically what you're doing right here is you're just filling them in to give them a fuller look. But I also like to define the top of my brow because you can see it's not as defined as I like. It's all rounded. I kind of like a peak right here in the corner. So I'm going to do the same thing I did to the bottom to the top. And then I'm going to fill it in. Okay, so this color's a little bit darker than I like to use, so it looks like a very full and heavy brow. But what I'm going to do is take my brush here and I'm going to stroke it inwards. I borrowed this technique from Lil Pumpkin Pie 05, and I really like the technique, so I stick with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now just to kind of thin out this area, because what you don't want is for your brow to look like a block. So I'm going to brush it inwards as if I'm going to give myself a unibrow here. And once I've done that, I'm going to brush it now back in line with the way that it should be. So just so that I can make sure that that's how I want it, or if I want to do any more brushing. So as you can see, it's come out here, the color from the brow, but you'll get rid of that later. So I'm actually going to brush a little bit more here. So now that that's done, you're ready for concealer. So this is where this brush is really handy. This one actually came from Mary Kay because it has the brush and the comb on this end, and on the other end it has my angled eyeliner brush. However, I'm not using it for eyeliner, I'm using it for my concealer on my brows. So this is perfect because when I get ready to do my brows, all I need is this one tool for my brows, and that's it. So I'm going to take my concealer, and I'm going to take my eyeliner brush here, my angled eyeliner brush, and I'm just going to put one side and stroke it up against my concealer. And then I like to take the other side as well, so that the color is on both sides. Just like that. And so now I'm going to do the same thing I did with my eyebrow or my pencil, and I'm going to trace underneath it, but I'm also going to use this brush to drag the concealer color out from here to about here. Okay, so I'm going to basically give myself a brow highlight prior to putting on any makeup. So again, I'm not just taking it and going all the way around. I'm going to take my time and stroke my way across. And now I'm going to, you don't want to leave that line there, that looks really ghetto. But I'm going to drag that color downwards like I told you or explained earlier. So just like that. And basically all I'm doing is trying to blend that color out. Notice I just flipped it over because I like to make this part of the highlight more dramatic. And now that it's somewhat blended, I'm going to use my finger to blend. Alright, so that's the bottom there. So now the bottom of my brows are complete, and I'm going to do the same thing to the top. Now here's where some techniques differ. Some people use their color to go around the top because you don't want to have basically a light block going all the way around your brows. That's not natural. But for me, I don't know, I change it up. Sometimes I will go with using my natural color or the color that I use for my skin, but today I'm going to go ahead and stick with my concealer and show you how that looks. So same thing I did with the bottom. I'm taking this same brush and I'm stroking both sides into my concealer, and I'm going to do the same thing on the top that I did to the bottom. Now what you don't want to do is leave your eyebrow looking like this. Let me see if I can cover this light. You do not want to walk around with your eyebrow like white on the top. Okay, just don't do it. I kind of messed up here, but I tried to straighten out that crook. But what I'm going to do is take my finger and blend it out. And because it's so light, this hopefully will give you a better understanding of why people choose to use their color, match their color for the top of the brow. But really you just want to make sure that brow is cleaned up. I do more blending on the top than I do on the bottom, because like I said, most of the time I'm going to take another color anyways to put underneath the brow to make it pop once the makeup is on. So I don't blend the bottom out as much as I do the top. Okay, and so there you have it. There's a brow. This is my regular brow. So hopefully you see the difference. They are definitely, it's a it's a great way to groom your eyebrows if you don't take a weekly or bi-weekly trip to the salon to get your eyebrows waxed. This saves me money. This saves me $7-8 every paycheck because I don't have to go and get my eyebrows waxed or threaded, especially when I can do it myself. But that's it. I hope this was very informative to you. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to inbox me or leave a comment below the description box. So thanks for watching and see you later.